Sublime magnificence. Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent and ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen. And as usual, I am joined by my co-host and runner-mate, one of my best friends in the world, El Director himself, Bill Smith.
Hey, Omari, thank you for having me back. As always, love being here, love doing this thing. Trading these movies back and forth. One guy has seen it, the other one hasn't. Usually it's movies, sometimes it's other things. Sometimes I go multiple weeks in a row. Sometimes we get a good run of going back and forth. Omari, it is your turn this week. What did you have to bring me?
I decided to go with one of the things we talk about this year, in general, on this show of ours. An old staple is the action movie, the turn your brain off action movie. And for whatever reason, if it's not one from like that 80s or 90s, for whatever reason this year we've been doing some movies from 2025. So I saw something a couple weeks ago and was like, hey. If Bill hasn't seen that, then eventually I'm gonna recommend it on the show. Felt like now was a good enough time. I'm recommending 2025's From the World of John Wick, Ballerina.
From the world of John Wick, Ballerina 2025, rated R. It is an assassin trained in the traditions of the Ruska Roma organization, sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. It is directed by Len Weissman. It is written by Shay Hatton and Derek Kolstad, and it stars, of course, Ana de Armas, Ian McShane, and the one and only Keanu Reeves. Omari, the
So,
ballerina. Why'd you decide that was
so,
coming this way?
so, aforementioned action bias. I'm pretty sure you've seen all four John Wicks. Otherwise, I would have recommended watching any of
Is there
them.
four of them at this point? I think I've seen all of them, but I wouldn't have told you there was four. I was thinking there was three while I was watching
There,
Ballerina.
there have been four.
Okay.
There, there's the original. There's the second one that had Common, the where Common was one of the main villain. Well, one of the rival dudes he kept going against. If you remember Common, he was a rapper turned actor.
I know who Common is.
Okay, just trying to see if you remember the movie. Damn. Then the third one had Halle Berry and her dogs.
Uh-huh.
And then the fourth one came after that. And without me going too deep into stuff that happens, I will say there was one scene that involved stairs and falling it down a lot of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot. If you've seen that one, then cool. If that rings a bell
I'm almost
from
positive I've
Keanu.
seen them all.
Yeah. So I'm a big
But like
John.
I mean they all bleed together at this point. Like unless you
Yeah.
give me an actor or something like
Um,
something that's different about four like the Halle Berry dogs.
ooh,
Otherwise it's
ooh, ooh, Ip
like
Man. Donnie Yen. Not Donnie Yen. Who's Ip
oh
Man?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I would have thought that that was also in Halle Berry Dogs because
Yeah.
they're all they all string in my brain.
Yeah. That's a good. Thank you for reminding me that I can mention actors and not and that not be spoiling things. Yeah, because I didn't want to spoil the way four ended, despite the fact that there's a five apparently that's been announced.
Right. Well, because one of them had a bunch of boys from the raid, and so maybe
That's
those.
three.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of
Yeah,
three
three had a
that
Mad
would have
Dog. I'm
had
pretty sure.
Ip Men in it. Um. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to watch. Like I said, I was on a John Wick kick a couple months ago, watching them, and then decided, hey, this new Ballerina movie came out. Not gonna lie,
I feel
I
like in casual in conversation not about Keanu or John Wick, very somewhat recently, you very casually dropped that John Wick is probably your favorite action character of all time or something like that. I don't remember what we were talking about, but you were going through your like greatest hits of just like badass character tropes or something, or like dudes who are
maybe
just
not number,
OP.
yeah, maybe
And
not number one, but definitely on the list of my favorites. Like character wise, just the way they built him up and everything. And then he delivers on it. Like he's a legend in his own universe. Everybody
mm,
fucking acts like it. And it's always like a good dopamine hit when somebody, like even in this movie, someone actually just calls out how stupid it is that they're fighting John Wick. They're like, guys, this is dumb. Why are we doing this? Like the guy in this one, semi spoilers, like, this is suicide. It's John fucking Wick.
the Baba Yaga.
And then, and then I was like, okay, dude, if you know it's suicide, why did you get to this point to where he's around the corner? No, you stay your like I'm not going out there with y'all. This is John Wick, or I'll be right out. My gun's jammed. I'll be right out. And then fucking run.
Yeah,
Get out of
I have questions for that. I don't know
there.
when you want to start getting spoilery, but I
Well,
have.
we can talk and talk about the film itself, unless you want
Uh,
to talk about like expectations or something.
oh yeah, well, I mean, expectations were, John Wick, a John Wickish movie.
Hmm.
Um, if I'm honest with myself and you, um, I am expecting a drop. I
Yeah,
think, I mean, not just because this isn't Keanu, it's not John Wick, but it's
but
just
it's the
it's
fifth
just,
movie in the
yeah, you're
series.
following the pattern. We're at the point now where we're not even doing the main story. We're now using
The
we're using the
universe.
world that the main character created in order to continue this franchise kind of thing. Um, that's usually when the movies start falling off. Like when we were kids, this is the film that would have been straight to movie, straight to home release, you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Um,
I can agree.
uh,
That's what made me hold off on it for a while. Or
uh-huh.
I wasn't
Same here.
initially.
That's probably why,
Yeah.
although I am a big fan of Ana de Armas as far as in her acting, as far as and as well as, I mean, let's be
Is she
honest here,
Knives Out?
her appearance. Yes, yes, her
Okay. She was
she is
looking
Knives
familiar
Out.
to me the whole movie, and I was like,
But yeah, she is a brilliant actress and she's undeniably gorgeous. So like I was into that. But I was like, I mean, I almost had a there was probably a part of me that was almost to the point of this can't be good.
yeah.
Like the
Oh,
math says that this can't be good kind of thing.
that is a perfectly understandable expectation. I shared it before I watched it the first time as well. And even in recommending it, I'm like, even if it isn't up to any standards of bills, it can make for conversation. That was what I was
But you know,
like.
I wasn't really actively thinking that, but I'm just trying
Yeah.
to think of why I hadn't seen it yet, or why I never even really made an earnest attempt to to seek it out. And it's probably because when it boils down to it, the math equation in my head was saying, well, that's not going to be worth it
Yeah.
necessarily. Um, uh, uh, I'm glad I didn't see the directed by Len Wiseman before watching the film, because that would have also added a second layer of expectations to it.
Wiseman.
He is the I believe it's the Underworld director
Oh, with
creator, with the
the
Kate
girl.
Beckinsale vampire
Yeah,
werewolf
yeah.
Eternal
Werewolf shit.
Wars
Yeah, Eternal
thing.
Darkness or Underworld. Yeah. Yeah, she had a whole last series there. And this is that guy. Okay.
That's that guy, and it's a very specific. He traditionally has a very specific gothic, sexy aesthetic that is
Yeah.
very Len Wiseman. Um,
Yeah.
and although you could say that that is John Wick's aesthetic in a way, he now seeing this, I can say he fits the world appropriately. But if I had have known that beforehand, I would have been like, oh God,
Yeah,
what is
what's
this
he
going
gonna
to be?
do?
Yeah. So I'm glad that that didn't get into any expectations for me. In general, I was just kind of expecting this to be a forgettable film, possibly.
Fair.
Weirdly, I somehow wasn't even calculating fight scenes. I wasn't
I
even
wasn't
thinking
even.
I wasn't even thinking about, well, at least the fight scenes will be good because they have to make good fight scenes because it's John Wick. I wasn't even really ever calculating that. I was just always just being like, this is going to be a middle of the road action movie.
Yeah. I hadn't seen any trailers because you know me. I don't like being spoiled on the movie. So I didn't realize Ana de Armas was gonna be the main character before I watched it the first time. I thought it was gonna be something to do with the girl who Donnie Yen's if not Donnie Yen, then no, she wanted to kill Donnie Yen's character at the end of four. And I thought this would be her like the Japanese girl's revenge tour or some shit. I didn't know when this was taking place, which to get into the movie and stuff, I still don't know when this actually takes place. I'm
They
confused.
give us a time marker of the first cameo by John Wick, Keanu, in the film.
Yes.
That is our time marker to the world because that is an actual scene from
From three.
either number two or three. Okay. Um,
He leaves there to go meet Halle Berry.
right. So
Um,
that is an actual marker in our time and space in the universe. But then when we get to the final scene, I'm a little confused on why and how. Like, I think the final is supposed to be John. I don't see. Also, I'm blanking on how four ends.
oh,
Spoilers on John
yeah,
Wick. How does
yeah.
it? How does
Spoilers
four
on
wrap up?
John 4. He gets shot and assumedly dies on a staircase in the middle of France. And it's supposed to be like his going out thing. Donnie Yen shoots him because they're both like blackmailed by the table into doing their shit. And this douchebag Marquis, I think is what his position is like trying to make everything happen. John Wick purposely gets shot so that he can get the kill shot on the Marquis, which, technically lets Donnie Yen go free, and John Wick finally gets his freedom because he's left to die on a staircase. Also, this movie apparently takes place before Lance Reddick's character dies, which was also interesting considering Lance Reddick himself has passed from this earth.
Yeah, yeah. I clocked that too. I was curious about that. Um, according to the filmmakers, this takes place between John Wick Chapter 3 and John Wick Chapter 4.
I just don't know how. Because he
He
goes
feels
over,
like a really busy guy on his own shit to just take this call to Prague real fast.
yeah, like between three and four. My only guess, actually, if it's between three and four, I forgot how four goes. I forgot the little bit that could have made sense out of it. because I know 1 to 2 to 3 is, well, 2 to 3 is pretty much the exact same day, and then it continues. 4, there is a little bit of time because he got shot off the building. He got shot off the roof at the end of 3 and recovered by the Bowery King. And by the time we see him in 4, he's been training and he's ready to get his revenge. So I guess theoretically, during that time, while he was still recovering or whatever, he got the call from Ruska Roma Mom to be like, hey,
Hey, I know you're hiding out in the sewers. If you don't want any trouble from us, you need to go do this job fast.
yeah, so stuff
Sure,
like
maybe
that.
that explained it.
Maybe. But that's something I literally thought of talking with you right now. I remember putting in the notes, I'm like, but how?
The first, yeah, which that when I or in the beginning when I was like, and I got questions about that. That was my questions was like, I don't understand where the I know where the first cameo is, obviously, but
Hmm.
then he's an incredibly busy man, and he's not exactly cool with that woman. Like he was
Yeah.
just, I mean, I know he was ostracized from the family, but then he shows up. Then we see him meet up with her and they're like, "Yeah, but we're still cool, right?" And she's like, "Ah, you, John Wick, I love you and hate you, or whatever."
Yeah, John Wick 4, he has to do something to get back in the Ruska Roma's good graces because they have a new leader. It's not her anymore. She's dead or something.
And so now they're gonna have this. Are they're gonna do ballerina sequels
Maybe.
with this war between this? But and
But I feel like that cult is fucked.
yeah, those are my like. Yeah, that cult is fucked. Like the main leader, and obviously many of his generals are done. Like before the moment that he decided to kill her, I think most of the audience would say that the clear number two in the society was our main character's sister.
Yeah.
She's dead. Obviously, most of his generals that he sent to kill her, the guys he sent to John Wick are dead. Who's left in that town
That was another funny
that would
part.
really put up a war?
Speaking of people treating John Wick like he would be treated in a universe where he's that powerful, the Chancellor, they're like, "Sir, we need to get you to safekeeping. It has been 1,000 years and the Chancellor has never left the property in time of need. But we don't know where John Wick is." Immediate cut to him getting in a car.
All right, let's get in the car. I mean, I like yeah, I loved him show first I thought that it was all just a like the entire phone call with the commander with the what was his titling?
Chancellor?
Chancellor. With the Chancellor was a red herring, and John Wick was going to show up and be like, "She sent me for because you and I need to clean house now,
Yeah.
to get this situation corrected." Instead of like him actually getting sent there to kill her. But when he did arrive and they actually did start fighting, I love like that he just like Brock Lesnar'd her. And they just kept just being like, nope, immediate defeat. I am still your entire movie is because of my franchise. Nope,
I
no,
love
I am
that.
still John Wick.
I love that because
You're
clearly
the main
she's
character of this movie,
like
but
clearly they're
no.
setting her up to be like next in line in movies going down, forward or whatever. Or at the very least a badass character to show up in future movies.
I mean, the end of this movie
And
straight up gives her a John Wick plot.
yeah.
Like Ballerina 2 is going to be a John Wick movie now.
Yeah. So, but what I liked about the way they treated her throughout the movie is she was a lot more sloppy with things. And John Wick can have some sloppy moments, but at the end of the day, that's Baba Yaga. Oh. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But she was like, she still got all the stuff done and she still had a lot of cool stuff herself. But when they did bring in John, they didn't hit us with the whiplash of, oh yeah, she's on John Wick's level. She's even better than him. Aren't you guys happy? No,
Yep.
she's way too young in her training. As prodigal as she is, she's still green compared to John Wick.
Big,
And they made that
hmm
known.
big positive I have for this movie. That is a sticking point for me in some movies. And it's not that I'm a sexist, it's that I'm a realist.
Okay.
And you can't have these 250 pound giant, pro wrestler looking stuntmen walking around getting thrown across the room from a punch from 120 pound Scarlett Johansson. And not give her superpowers unless you do what this movie did. All I want from you is to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the, and it's been many years now, but I feel my memory says that this was an issue I had with the with the Black Widow movie. Is that they don't like, all I need is that scene that straight up tells me as the audience member, that man is 250 pounds, you're 100 pounds soaking wet. This physically is almost impossible. You have to cheat, or we are going to teach you this special fighting technique that is specifically for a woman going against a man twice her size.
Yeah.
I All I need is that line to be placed in the movie, and I'm like, okay, cool. Belief suspended.
Yeah.
That's one thing I kind of desperately wanted from the Black Widow movie, was more of an explanation of how she is sometimes
She's the
going
best.
toe to toe with not only men but superpowered men. Um, and it's not just that she has a bunch of military training
But
or
she
that she's from
had, yeah, she
an
does,
assassin.
yeah,
Like we need a little bit of and again, I just need some acknowledgement of it, and now I give you this super secret technique that explains everything. Okay, cool. Great. Super secret technique. Awesome.
yeah.
That's how it's done. Cool.
Hit
And
him in the balls.
this one does it in the training montage, which we love a training montage here.
I
Uh
did like the training montage. Speaking of her and her overpowering the dude from that training montage, what she finally does, like she kicks him in the balls so she can get throw down. Okay, that's cool. You won. And then she just for no reason winds up and just while he's on the ground, just extra for no reason. I'm like, why? Why? He's defeated.
we are training to be assassins here. It's not like we're
But he is also training to be an assassin for your same organization. But that said,
seems cutthroat. My only other glaring negative that I want to hit. We talked about our ending and not really fudging with the time, working with the timelines, and also I my head butted up to, like, we already talked about this whole like war threat to this. I didn't really feel this cult as a threat to the world and
no,
society as a
no.
whole,
I feel like if they
as they
step
were
out of
trying to
line,
sell.
to keep it in universe terms, I feel like if they step out of line, the high table's just going to be all over them.
Yeah.
Like they can't do shit.
Unless we learn that, like, high table is, like,
Yeah.
that is the breeding grounds for the high table or
Oh.
some shit.
Well, the
Um,
one thing that they constantly pointed out about the cult is they don't like to play by the rules.
right.
And so I guess it's one of those things where it's like, are they dangerous per se? Not if we're all fighting on equal terms, but they some underhanded motherfuckers.
Hmm.
Also, their stronghold is a city where everybody in the said city or village is part of said
Is
cult
strapped.
and strapped to the teeth.
When soccer mom and dad pulled out the autos from the truck, I was like, oh, okay. But no. So anyway, my only other issue I had was I feel like breaking, and I don't remember. Part of my issue is I don't remember the dollar amounts that were getting thrown around for John Wick's head in movies one and two.
Like, I think at one point it was like 14, 15.
Okay. But like breaking the no violence in any of the Continentals was one of the like it was the crescendo to both of those films because it was such a no-go for every person involved, and it just felt like such a quick switch in this one that I feel like it deflates. In retrospect, it's going to end up deflating the importance of the other ones.
Yes and no. I do. I was questioning that at first because I'm like, aren't they conducting business on the continental grounds? But then I thought about it. They do have a scene. One, the reason the guy was alive as long as he was to begin with was because no one really wanted to break the rules, and they were trying to see if someone would take the bait and do so.
Right.
And then when after the whole shootout and fights go, one, a lot of the people involved in that were already dead. But then they captured her and the other two, and she explained like she didn't kill anybody and anything like that. Made people killing with them, and anything that she did was in defense. They immediately shot the fuck out of those other two.
No, yeah, and
Um,
I know that the rule was still had some, but like the fact that the extra million to make it not three, but or not or no doubling it and not being two, but 4 million
yeah,
was the separator for all of a sudden like six assassins in that hotel to stand up and be like, all right, well we're breaking our most cherished personal rule
I'll
that
get.
like the first film that this entire franchise is built on
No, I
built
can
up the
give you that.
entire film to a climactic point of like, will John Wick fire a gun in the Continental? He couldn't possibly fire
Yeah,
a gun in the
that's how
Continental.
two ends is him firing a gun and killing a guy.
Okay, that's the end of two. I was thinking that might
Yeah,
have been the end of
yeah.
one.
At the end of two, he kills a guy. Well, someone tries to attack him and fights him in the Continental in the first one. A girl tries to assassinate John in the first movie in the Continental, but he beats her up and just kind of ties her up and like has some other dude that he meets in the hallway hold her hostage that she eventually gets free from. But there's technically physical violence without killing. That's okay. Then the second movie, while he's fighting Common on the streets and stuff, they eventually end up on like at the Italian Continental, and they just end up like they're fighting. They're about to shoot each other, and then the guy walks up and he's like, "Hey, by the way, before y'all start pulling triggers, you're on continental grounds. Y'all might have get the up, get some tea and stuff." But they're also John Wick, and Common seems to be he was like right hand of one of the leaders in that section. So they probably had a little bit more leeway for fisticuffs.
Right.
That said, this
Well,
movie
in
to
this world,
you,
you'll get a respect versus respect kind of
yeah,
match sometimes.
yeah. This movie, though, to your point, yeah, I do think for a rule that's that concrete, 6 million or 4 million, are we really, are we
Yeah.
really throwing our
Again, it
lives
wasn't
away for that?
it's not like it was a deal breaker for
Yeah,
the film, and it
maybe they're
was
maybe they're more desperate in Prague.
and it might be my last negative, like flat out
Yeah,
negative that I have to say for the film,
yeah,
but
maybe they're more desperate in Prague. I
that
don't know.
entire scene, I was just butting my head of just like, re- Really? Within like 5 minutes,
Yeah,
we've escalated to the point where we're gonna have a full on like massive gunfight shootout in this place.
I
Um,
guess. But
and it's not even the people that they're like they don't respect any of our rules. It's the people that are supposed to be respecting their rules
yeah.
that are the ones that started all off. Um, the tribe is just there hoping that the assassins would break the rules. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, that one was kind of weird for me just because I like that's the
No, I understand it. Like I said, I was like, I'm
one of
trying to
the
make
best
sense
things
of it
about
now.
these films is the world.
The lore is what gets it. Like it's
Yeah.
definitely
Once you
uh
start, it's like
once
one
you
of our
start
favorite
poking at
things, the
it.
wrestling. Like once you start, like you can't. Once you start going down that road, it's like it's hard to come back from it.
Hmm. I agree. But yeah, speaking of positive things in there, a lot of the fight scenes and stuff, whether it's the opening, because these movies love starting hot
Yep. Shout out to
with Tom Hicks.
old boy from Umbrella Academy. Have you ever watched
Oh,
Umbrella
okay.
Academy?
I have not. I was just like, oh, it's we got John Wick at home. Uh,
He plays a very bullseye type character of like I can't miss when I'm throwing something in order to hit something else. I'm kind of
nice.
always going to hit that thing. He's a cool character.
Yeah, and he was pretty cool in this one, like for what he could do. You
Yeah.
know, eventually baby's first kill, because you gotta have the sad backstory and stuff. We already mentioned the training montage. Love those. I like the test where it's a crazy thing for someone to see, and I thought it would play more into the story later on, but no, it's just you get it. It because when the lady came in and she's like, "What? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm a test?" And she's like, "Who are you?" "I'm you in 10 years." Like, that's crazy to tell somebody right before y'all about to shoot somebody, and you know what I mean? But I can also understand where she's coming from. She's like, if she thought that she was top shit back in the day and she had been a good agent for 10 years, and then all of a sudden, hey, you remember how you had to do an initiation thing where you had to put a gun together faster than the other person and shoot them? Yeah, now you're the person that needs to be beaten. That's how little we care about whether or not you continue to survive in the Ruska Roma. You're a test dummy. But that was cool. They had the whole club scene and the rubber bullet shootout, which was interesting. She's like, I got rubber bullets? Yeah, is that a problem? No, I guess.
Bitch was ready to kill some people. That's how I took that line almost. The way Anna delivered it
Oh no,
was
she
like
definitely was ready to kill people.
she was hoping for some murder.
Yeah. But also, like, if these guys come trying to kill and all you got is rubber bullets, uh, what are we gonna do? But she still handles her business, and the fucking ice pick that she beats the like main dude in that club thing with was crazy. But that's again what I liked about her. She like was a lot. She was forced to be a lot more scrappy and resourceful of a character when it came to like grabbing stuff to kind of equalize whatever situation. I'm assuming Lance Reddick did the scenes before he passed away, but if not, then I don't know if they used AI or whatever, but that's weird. Norman Reedus makes an appearance in the movie.
I I wonder. I've been a little silent because I've been trying to do some in real time sleuthing.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not able to confirm it in this moment, but in 2023 there was a film from South Korea that translates to Ballerina. A
Oh.
dark revenge thriller with great grieving the loss of a best friend she could not protect, former bodyguard sets out for full to fulfill her dear friend's last wish, sweet sweet revenge. But it looks like the poster looks so similar to this ballerina. I'm very curious if that test scene is this actress because it looks like
Oh.
I have a tough time. I have face blindness if you don't have a very distinct face. I don't want to say that all East Asian people look like each other kind of thing or something like that. But it's not just that. It's all average white ladies who are brunettes all look the same. If you have the same hair color and you're just an average person with no absolute distinct features, I have a hard time separating you. So I can't tell you if this is the same woman or not from just the very brief scene I saw over an
Yeah.
hour ago. Um, but I that would be funny if that because yeah, it's I'm the
I'm
I'm
you.
you even
Hmm.
adds even more layers to it. And I
True.
could see them, even though it's not of the John Wick world,
It's a good shout out.
if they could if they ended up pulling some story beats for this film or anything like that or even just straight up some sequences or something like that if they
Hmm.
did like small woman action well or something like that it would make sense.
Yeah. So speaking of story beats that the John Wick movies like to do, the gun sale, where we're gonna just sit here and just pretty much have gun porn for gun lovers. This gun, and here's all the features that only the gun lovers will talk about. 30-inch barrel with the kind of switch. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Although only to have it interrupted by a gunfight. Where it's like, oh, okay, we got our this scene, and then oh shit, no, we're still fucking having a shootout. And then fucking Anna goes crazy with the grenades, just using grenades for everything. Just finds a shit ton of grenades and just starts like shoving them in people's mouths. She fucking put a grenade on the dude behind the door and blew him up. The fucking table fatality with the grenade, where she like shoved the grenade in the dude's mouth, choked him, and then flipped over the table, came down breaking his neck and blowing him up at the same time. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, she can be really fucking brutal when she wants to be. The restaurant fight was crazy. The fucking skates, whenever she had the room with the ice skates. And she just like put the ice skates on her gloves and was just slashing the dude to fucking death.
Grenade fight was pretty memorable.
The flamethrower fight.
No,
The grenade fight. Okay,
yeah,
I was saying the
like
grenades.
the grenades were pretty crazy. The flamethrower fight was really fun, but also a little annoying with how much they would just stand there and stare at each other for like a good beat and a half, or like how she would only pull the trigger when he was hiding and then she would exclusively not pull the trigger whenever he wanted to stand up, and almost vice versa for him. Like I get that you got to do this safely, and you only want to burn so many people, and you want those burns to be very intentional. But maybe this is why we don't have flamethrower fights in movies.
Yeah, it's definitely that last one, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, this is a little silly, but also
it
fucking
great it gets
flamethrower fight.
it gives for great visuals like the moment when they're both struggling and they do the 360 spin while both flamethrowers are just shooting out this way. I mean, it's a beautiful visual, obviously. I'm not going to deny that it's fucking awesome. But yeah, the amount of times that she would just like stop, and then he would be like, "Oh, okay, she's stopping. I'm gonna stand up now, and then he stands up and he aims, and then they and beat, and then she dies. Like,
No, I hear
they're
you.
both super trained assassins, so that one's those moments are like but it's still undeniably cool.
Yeah, rule of cool type stuff.
Right.
Just like the guy having his leg set on fire, he decides to go full Sanji and start kicking her with his flaming leg.
I don't know if he set his foot on fire or if he did that intentionally. It felt almost as if he was like, this will be cool. And then he shoves his foot into some fire.
I feel like it.
Either that or it got a little bit caught on fire and then he was like, lean into it. Because there was a moment where I feel like we saw that there was a shot of him looking down at in acknowledgement, and then a shot of him like taking his boot, picking it up, and putting it back down into the fire a little bit. Um, uh, because yeah, he was like, I'm gonna kick her in the head with my flaming boot.
Then we had the fucking beam struggle of the water hose versus the flamethrower. I was just like, man, these movies, they never hesitate to, or they never, fail. Also, when what's her name got the katana and out of nowhere and just like, by the way, I'm a master at the katana. I just happened to not come across one this entire movie because she just wrecked everybody in
That
that room the second she grabbed that thing.
that was maybe the coolest sequence of the film. Maybe the coolest sequence of the film, because not only is it some amazing sword choreography, but it's happening inside of a burning building, like a burning wood build, like a burning log cabin, and so it's just that like giant flames and just embers going everywhere, and yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mentioned to John Wick. I'm happy that John got to do some fighting too. Like if we're going to have the John Wick cameo outs, and I mean fighting outside of him fighting her.
Right.
I mean, like he got to get some bodies too and be like, yeah, Baba Yaga gonna Baba Yaga real quick.
Mm-hmm. Gotta get that
And-
body count up.
exactly. Also, the phone call with the lady at the end. It's done. So she's dead. He's dead. Like, oh, okay, fair enough. I guess we'll deal with the consequences later, I suppose. But technically, he won't be getting back at us because she's still alive after midnight.
Yeah, I don't know, like who dropped that little ballerina on her desk. Like, I guess you would have a network, maybe. There's a
Uh-huh.
network of important people outside of the city. Like, if this place is really that, I mean, it's 1,000 years old. Who knows? But yeah, it just seemed like it wasn't as big of a deal as they were all making it out to be. And also, like, I get that he's really popular with the people who like him, but like on the list, on the charts of I don't get it, maybe number one on that list is Norman fucking Reedus. I don't get it. Like
I don't either.
he is only ever Daryl. Like that is all he ever is. He's just Norman Reedus. And it's just it's I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I don't either, buddy. I don't either. I know I mentioned him earlier because I'm like, okay, but that was me just being like, well, even if I don't understand Norman Reedus, I know everybody loves him. So
Like
shout out to Norman
he's
Reedus.
barely in this movie, so it's not a complaint. He's not detracting from the film at
Oh
all.
no, not
But
at all.
he's just Daryl all of a sudden inside of the John Wick films. Like it's not like he's doing anything different. I feel like they didn't even change costumes. He came straight from his Daryl spinoff show and just walked right on set and they were like, "You're protecting this girl." Okay.
The second that they printed out with his face on it, like, oh, that's Walking Dead, dude. That's Norman Reedus. What are you doing here? Mr. Death Stranding himself. Maybe that's why people like Death
People
Stranding.
loved him before Death Stranding.
Well, yeah, Walking Dead and Death Stranding. I don't know much else that he's done, but I'm not a big zombie guy. I think we touched on it. So Walking Dead is something that I've
He's
seen
big in
very
the
little
he's
of.
big in the biker community.
Ah, fair.
I know. Like he's one of those dudes who's managed to be loved by a very specific type of people without ever voicing the opinions
Oh,
that
said type of
often
people.
that often you have to voice in order to get into those good graces. I feel like that's the circles that really bolster the Norman Reedus name. And then he managed to get into the Kojima verse and get some nerd cred on top of all of that. But before Death Stranding, I feel like it was just like weird bikers and rednecks that really fucking loved Norman Reedus for some reason.
That could be it.
And I guess and you if you love Walking Dead and you love the Daryl character, which even then I watched a lot of Walking Dead. I didn't finish. I got all the way up into where Rick was gone. And I think I even did the season after Rick was gone.
Is that after
Um,
Negan showed up?
yeah, that's pretty deep into the Negan stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I was never a big Daryl guy.
I know about Negan because of Tekken 7. They put the character Negan in the game.
Mm,
Mm. With a
his
lot of
baseball,
quotes from the show.
give him his baseball bat.
Oh yeah, Lucille.
Lucille is right ahead of name.
She's a vampire bat because she craves blood. That's a line of his. He also asked a lot of lines about people shitting themselves. You shitting themselves yet? Oh, must be shitting yourself. But apparently, it's a lot of quotes from the show.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something.
So,
So anyway, I mean, yeah, fight scenes were pretty cool. I love the purple and hot pink aesthetic of a nightclub
mm,
in this era of cinema. That's always a very pretty format to shoot in. Um, but it was fine. It was fine. I don't know if I'll ever rewatch. I'd be I don't know. Would I be surprised if they actually continue if they push through on this chunk of the universe? I want to say yes.
yeah,
I would think maybe we divert and try a different branch
yeah.
before we went to Ballerina 2.
I agree. I would like the world of John Wick to have just various other stories of badasses. They don't have to be
Right.
directly related to John himself. You can have them be affected by John because, I mean, he goes to war against the entire High Table at one point. So it's going to affect everybody in some way. But out outside of that, you can literally just have something in this world where, as long as they follow the rules, you get your cool action scenes and probably a story about vengeance in there somewhere, or some story about something else, or some dudes just doing the missions, But I did like this kind of as we not a John Wick origin story, but the origin story of a John Wick-esque level individual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does a John Wick happen with the stuff like this? Bottom line is, if you live in that universe, keep your business to yourself. Stay out of other people's business in life, because if you piss off the wrong person, oh my goodness, the bodies that get buried that day will lay the foundation of everything we are. But yeah, that's Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Got anything else to say about it?
From the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
Fair enough. Anything else you like to say?
Nope.
All right. Goodbye and adios.